Hey everyone, it's Kimberly with I Dream a Lot on YouTube, Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy. I'm a part-time reseller in West Virginia, and I try to do a what sold video each week and then a at least one haul video. I have not done a haul video yet this week, and I'm probably going to just end up doing it tomorrow, which is Monday. It'll be Monday, September 18th. I'll probably just do a haul video when I get home from work, and then upload it hopefully tomorrow night. So we're going to go through some numbers first. So for eBay, I'm going to give you a few different numbers. So if you go to eBay and you just kind of look at your sales and you basically put in the dates that you want to, what is the word I'm trying to use? Anyway, you put in certain dates and then all your sales will come up for that date, and it gives you several different numbers. So the first number it gives you is just a total, and that total includes the amount the items sold for plus tax plus shipping. So it's an inflated number, really. That number for me, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give you the date. So we are going to go over sales from September 9th through September 16th. I believe those were the dates. So it was basically Saturday to Saturday, I think is what I ended up doing. And I think that's just the easiest way for me to do it. So Saturday to Saturday. $744.55 total on eBay. However, that includes $168.45 for shipping, and then $27.13 for eBay fees, and then $46.78 for taxes. Okay, so really what we want to look at is and I'm sure what you guys want to know is how much did these items sell for. So I had 17 items and they sold for a total of $529.32. Okay, so that is how much. And I'm sorry, I forgot to do the average cost of goods, so let's just do that really quick. So I said 529.32 divided by 17. So yeah, my cost, or not my cost of goods, my ASP. So my average sale price was $31.13, which is right around where I want to be. So I've changed my business model if you're new here, and I'm trying to source items that I believe I can sell for at least $30 or more. And I'm just doing it that way because I don't have a lot of time to commit each week to my reselling business because of my full-time job. If I was a full-time reseller, I would still like my ASP to probably be at least $30, but I wouldn't mind being a volume seller, meaning if I could buy items for $1 or $2 and sell them for 15 or 20, and they have a high sell-through rate, I think that's perfectly fine. So nothing wrong at all selling items for $15 or $20 when you can pick them up for $1 or $2. Okay, so my total sales, let's get back to that, was $529. And my average sale price was about $31. My cost of goods for the 17 items is $68. So basically, I took $68 out of my bank account, bought these items, so to speak, and then a week later, what goes back into my account is $529. So I figure out my cost of goods based on kind of my hauls each week. And if you watch my videos, my average cost of goods usually ends up being right around $4. So some items I get for $1, even less, $2, and then sometimes I pay up for an item, $10 to $15. But really, when I average it out at the end of the year, my cost of goods for each item is about $4. So you can just keep that in mind anytime I'm doing a what sold video, or if you want to just go to my items on eBay, you can search and see what's selling for me. Although, as you know, I put out a video last week or the week before how these prices that you see here, like this first top right here, which sold today, which I'm not even talking about today, that'll be on next week's video. But this item did not sell for $24.99. I sent out an offer, somebody countered, and I accepted their counter offer. When that happens, when there's that back and forth, eBay does not recognize it as a best offer accepted. Now, if this item was listed and the potential buyer sent me an offer, say of $20, and I accepted it, then what you would see is a line through this right here, just like below. So you can see below, whoops, this big Buddha handbag, which we are going to talk about. I listed it for $39.99. Someone sent me an offer. I accepted it. So eBay puts a line through the price and right below, best offer accepted. Now, I have no idea why when there's back and forth that eBay's algorithm or whatever cannot do that. But yeah, so be careful. Again, I've already talked about this, so I don't want to get into it. But yeah, but anytime you just want to see what I'm selling, you can just click on one of my items, and what happens is, here, I'll just show you. So we clicked on that top, and you can just go see other items. If you go to the store, you won't be able to filter to sold. So you always want to go to see other items. The store looks prettier, but and then you just scroll down, and then on the left, so these are just all like active items, you can just click on sold, and it will show you how many items I have sold in the last 90 days. So it's 149 items, which is so sad. Like, I need to be selling 150 items a month, not every 3 months, but we're getting there. We are getting there. All right, guys, so let's just jump into it. So those are my eBay numbers. Then I'll go over Poshmark and Etsy, which is nothing really because I only had 2 sales on Poshmark, which kind of blew my mind because I've been actually doing fairly well on Poshmark in terms of just selling items, not necessarily dollar-wise, but just getting rid of stuff. But yeah, I only had 2 sales, and then I had 1 sale on Etsy. We will discuss that. All right, so I have everything set up. So you can see up here the start date. So I listed this on September 8th, and it sold on, I believe it was yesterday, yeah, so September 16th, so it was listed for about 6 days. And like I said, someone sent me an offer of $35, which was extremely fair, great offer, and I went ahead and accepted it. So this was just a faux leather bag, really great condition. It did have just kind of some wear, couple marks just from like body oil, basically, is what I think. Leather does that, so I think I even put in the listing, let's see, Yeah, I said see photos for details. Inside is very clean. There is some staining from use, but honestly, in my opinion, it just gives it that worn leather look, which I agree. It doesn't really look like a flaw. There's no damage, bottom of bag very clean. So that's what I added. And then for like theme, I put in bohemian, hippie. This was called the Grayson, and it was very easy to find that model or style name. That's the brand. And then the exterior is just faux leather. Big Buddha is the brand, and then those are the measurements for the bag. Yeah, just more measurements, and then some of the accents I just beaded, fringe. So I do fill out some of the recommended item specifics, but I don't think I go crazy. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with those recommended item specifics. All right, so let's close that and go to the next one. So this next item was listed on September 10th, and this also sold yesterday on September 16th, so just under a week. I had just hauled these a couple weeks ago. These were 2 drapery panels. They were like the chenille tapestry. I used keywords vintage, antique style. They're not antique. Romantic. I was kind of at a loss for words, but that, I mean, the look of these, and it's just the drape, it doesn't have the valance. So you can see each of these was $29.99. This was from Linens and Things, which that store has not been around for several years. So I included several pictures. It had the measurements there, and let's see what I did for keywords. Not much, yeah. So it just basically said these are a set of 2 panels, 1 in each package. The picture shows with, typo, balance, but there is no balance, just the drapery. So that should say valance. I'm sure someone picked up on that. So yeah, I sold both of them for $30 in under a week. Next is this Leapfrog, my first LeapPad learning system. So this had it was a backpack, and then it had the game, device, and then all the different books and games. And in my haul video, I said that I hadn't tested it. Because it was in such great condition, I was willing to take the risk. But honestly, once it sold, I'm like, you know what? I am going to test this. And so I did test it. So on the back of the tablet or device, whatever you want to call it, you had to unscrew where the batteries go. So I unscrewed that, and there were old batteries in there. I'm like, oh God, please don't be a mess. And it wasn't. It was fine. I just took the old batteries out, put new batteries in, tested it. I took pictures. I took a little video, and I made like a little mark inside where the batteries go, just to, I'm sure I'm being slightly paranoid, but sometimes people do switch out things to try and get like basically a free device. So, oh, we received this, but it doesn't work. Can you give us a refund? That kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, that is that. So that was a great sale. And again, it sold in under a week for $30. Average cost of goods, $4. Next is a pair of Hoka running shoes. I have had these listed since December. So what is that, like 9 months or something? I thought these would have sold a lot sooner than they did, but for whatever reason, they just sat around. I accepted an offer of, $35. Let me double check that. I'm sorry, $39. Yes, they sold for $39. So not much to say there other than they took a while to sell. But it is what it is. I mean, the fact that they still sold for $39, you know, isn't bad. So if they were in good condition, I'd probably pick them up again as long as they were, you know, $5 or less. Next is this Ruby Road. I don't generally pick this brand up, but it was in pristine condition. It was a size 2X, and I just thought, you know, it's just a simple, you know, comfy, very stretchy, kind of that stretchy, slinky jersey fabric. And I used keywords like beach and coastal. It had the little bell sleeves and this kind of crisscross detail on the neckline. And I listed it on July 6th, and it sold, I believe it was like September 15th or 14th. So about 2 months, which isn't bad. I'm trying to sell, once I list an item, I would like to sell it within 90 days. So that meets that goal. So it only sold for $20. But you know what? No, I'm sorry. I sent out an offer of $16.97 and it sold for $16.97. So yeah, I wouldn't pick that up again. It was just kind of an experiment, but they just don't sell for enough. But if you see this brand in a plus size in something that's very good condition, and it's a substantial piece and you can get it for a few dollars. I probably got this on 50% off days, so it was probably $3. You know, I would say go ahead and give it a try. Next is a pair of silver women's jeans. These are a women's size 18, which was really the main reason I got these. I looked up the style is the Suki mid boot cut, and it had a good sell-through rate. I don't know if it was 100%, but it was good because I paid full price. I think I paid $7 or $8 for these, but the person has not paid yet. So if they don't pay by end of day, I think tomorrow, then I'll go ahead and cancel and I'll relist them. I've had, you know, a decent amount of interest, so I'm not worried about it. These will sell definitely, indefinitely for $20, so I'm not worried about it. Next, I've had this dress forever. This is just a loft. It's this little sundress. I got this on a dollar day probably 3 years ago, and I accepted an offer of $14. So I would not pick this up again. I've had this, it says October 7th, 2022, but I had probably ended and relisted. I believe I've had this for at least 3 years. So very happy to see this go. And if you guys watch Lori, oh gosh, what is her little cute tagline? Boston, oh my gosh. What is her, Lori Tata, what is her? I'm going to look it up right now. But she used to do these fun videos where, you know, where she would sell, you know, sell something like this that's been sitting in her inventory for like, you know, in her Poshmark closet for like 3 years. And she used to do these fun videos where she called them Bye Felicia. I don't think that was the whole video. I think there were like a couple, she would do like her, you know, kind of highlights and, you know, and then things she may not pick up again. And then she would do Bye Felicia. Lori's Boston Found. That's what it is. Cute. Very cute play on words there. But yeah, so Bye Felicia on this loft dress. Okay. Next is a pair of Harley Davidson boots. This is a women's size 5.5, so pretty tiny there. I picked these up for $5. I listed them on September 10th, and I believe they sold on it was either the 15th or the 16th, and they sold for the price you see there, $29.99. I mean, Harley Davidson, nice leather boots. They were in good condition. I mean, they obviously had wear to them, but there was no damage. They were actually a really nice leather. I liked that they had a lot of branding, and where on the front there you see that with the Harley Davidson logo with the eagle. Yeah, so, and the tread was good on the bottom of the boots. Did I do a picture? I guess I didn't do, oh yeah, I did. I was gonna say. Yeah, so in under a week they sold for $30. Very happy with that sale. This is a Lane Bryant top. I listed this on July 2nd, and so it took about 2 months. I accepted an offer, and I believe it was $12.50, which seems pretty low, right? For this top, it was a size 18-20, just really pretty, very soft gold, silky top. It was very nice, but there was one tiny little stain in this area. Let me see if I can find the picture. I usually always check. Yeah, there it is. So, I mean, it was so tiny, you will not be able to see it when you're wearing it, but it is a flaw. And so I accepted an offer of $12.50. And so, yeah, I would not pick that up again if it had any sort of flaw, but I would pick that up again. I think without the flaw, I definitely would have been able to sell it for $20. Okay, next is a top that I listed on May 1st, so a few months to sell, about 4 months, right? June, July, yeah, 4 months to sell. So I wouldn't pick this up again. It was actually very nice. It seemed like it had never been worn, never been washed, and it just kind of gave me Free People vibes. And I believe that I got this on Dollar Day. Yeah, I put new without tags, which I rarely ever do that, but honestly, this definitely had never been washed, I can tell you that. And all the tags were in perfect condition. I accepted an offer of $10, so bye-bye. I would not pick that up again. This was a good sale. So this was listed about 1 month. These were a women's size 10 Nike running shoe. Not familiar with sneakers. I'm not a sneakerhead or whatever you guys call that. But they were in pristine condition, like brand new. And these actually sold for $35, and the buyer paid shipping. And not only did they pay shipping, but this was an international sale. So they paid quite a bit in shipping, around $20 or $22, something like that. So very happy. And yes, I would pick those up again. I don't do a lot of shoes. If I have to clean them or anything, I'm done doing that just because I just don't have time. So, but some people, they buy sneakers that look pretty beat up, and then boy, they get them looking so nice. But yeah, I just don't have time for any of that. I did do that with those Hokas. If you remember, I threw them in the wash and that whole bit. Next is just an Old Navy leather belt, nothing big, but it was really cute. It had just the metal buckle there, and then it had just some pretty floral embossed detail in the belt. It was a women's size medium. I used boho, hippie, country, and it sold within just a couple of days for $14.99. In fact, I think that was in my last haul video. This dress was so pretty and it was in pristine condition. This was another one where I don't think it was ever worn. This was by Guess. It was a size large. It was a floral maxi dress. Kind of had like a high-low hemline and kind of like this ruffle bottom. It had ruching around like along the waist. The sleeves like tied and they had these tassels. What else to say about it? Let me see if I can see I'm sure I took a picture of the tag. Yeah, so there's the Guess tag. You see it's pristine. It's very clean. You see the inside tags with all the information, just very clean. It was really a great condition, and it sold for the price you see there, $35. But I listed this in January, so, 9 months. But that's fine. I may or may not pick it up again. If it was a few dollars, I would, but anything other than that, and it would have to be like this, where it's like, basically when the person gets this, they're going to feel like, oh my gosh, this is like brand new. It's never been worn. Next is this halter top, this very Y2K. It was like halter. It had ruching with these like drawstrings on the sides. It was floral. It was so pretty. The brand is A Buyer. Made in USA. It was just so Y2K, like, yeah. Had lining, like in the chest area. It was very nice. And I sent out so many offers because I had so much interest, so many watchers, likers on Poshmark, but I think I had more attention on eBay, and it's just so funny. It sold for full price, $36.99. Yeah, so I listed it in April. So what is that, 4 months? 5 months. Yeah, almost 5 months, but hey, I'd pick it up again. And next, these are a pair of hunter boots, and they were dirty, and I was not cleaning them. So they actually look like they were probably only worn once or twice, to be honest. They are dirty on the bottom, but I mean, the tread and everything was very good. They just need to be wiped down, but you can see like the inside is very clean, very pristine. There's no like peeling, just kind of dirty, but I was not going to spend any time washing them. But so they sold for the price you see there, $40, and they took about a month to sell. Next is a plus size blouse. It had like kind of this burnout fabric. I used keywords witchy, burnout velvet, boho, and it was just a 1X. I think it had a zip. I have pullover, but I think it had a side zip. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So it was a really nice blouse. I don't know anything about this Indigo Thread brand. I don't even remember now what the sell-through rate was, but it was such a nice blouse. I mean, fully lined. I mean, very nice. Definitely gave me that kind of Free People vibe. It took just about a month to sell. And let's see what I did here. Yeah, I used keywords bohemian, witchy, hippie, gothic, Indigo Thread Company, pattern, paisley, bell sleeve, fabric type, velvet. Yeah, so, whoops. All right. Next is a vintage Ann Taylor short sleeve silk knit sweater top. It's silk, but it was, it's very much like a knit sweater. So it's vintage. I used words like pinup and retro. Yeah, size medium. So this was probably from, late 90s, early Y2K. And I accepted an offer of $15. I had it listed for about 4 months. And yeah, so happy to see that go. And the last item is this vintage size 2X Trip NYC. This is a Bolo brand. This was from Hot Topic. Sold this brand. This was very 90s, early like Y2K and even to the mid 2000s. But yeah, you can see it there. I used, punk, grunge, goth, bondage, EM. Yeah, all those keywords, and it sold on an offer of $109.97. Let's see, I think that does it for eBay. So my Poshmark sales. I sold this tote bag by Rachel Zoe for $17. And then Poshmark takes 20% of that. So $1.70 plus $1.70 is what, like $3.40? Is that right? Or yeah, wait. Yeah, $3.40. So yeah. So what is that? Like $13.60 is my profit. And then the other item that's sold, because I only sold 2 items, were these, which is a bolo right now, these Bugle Boy baggy pants, men's pants. They sold for $35, so I use keywords skate, vintage Bugle Boy, khakis, cargo pants. I put in the measurements, and yeah, and those took a few months to sell. I think 2 months maybe. Yeah, so those were my 2 sales. So that was about $41.60 net. So just over $20 average sale price. So hopefully we will. I haven't been listing on Poshmark. I just did a bunch of cross posting today. So what I did is I went through eBay and got everything over on list perfectly. So my goal is to do 5 listings each night after work on Poshmark this week, and like 5 to 7 just to get, because I think I have about, I don't even know, I think at least 50 items that I need to get cross posted. So I will be working on that. I didn't do any thrifting today, and I didn't do any thrifting on Saturday. The only thrifting I did this week was Friday after work, and I do have, so I'll have a haul video for you guys, but I'm going to be slowing down on my thrifting because I just want to get a handle on my existing inventory. So I may not have haul videos for a while, or I definitely won't have any of my, huge haul videos that run like 50 minutes to an hour. I may pop into Goodwill like on Fridays after work and just see if I can grab like a few good, really good items. But I'll try to do, not try, I will be consistent with my what sold videos, and I'll kind of throw in some other videos to give you like an idea of what I'm doing to get rid of items. I'll come up with something just to kind of keep you informed on what's going on with my business. And then the item that I sold on Etsy was this really cool vintage Stocks and Bonds board game from 1964. So cool. I've had this listed for about 3 years. I bought this for just about $1 at a garage sale. I went to a garage sale. I still remember the house and everything, and it's so funny because now I don't live too far from them, but they were eBay sellers, like just kind of hobby sellers. and she was selling a bunch of stuff. And pretty much everything I bought from her has sold. The last two things that were just sitting forever was this game and then this cool, cute little like newsboy hat, like a wool hat. It just hasn't sold for whatever reason. But everything else I bought from her has sold and sold pretty quickly. But anyway, so I got this for about $1. It took 3 years to sell. But you know, vintage stuff, I mean, you have to, if you want to sell vintage and really sell vintage and kind of, you know, focus on vintage, you have to be okay with being a long tail seller because you know, items sit because you just have to wait for the right buyer. That is just not my business model, but I love vintage. And yeah, I do have some vintage items that I need to get posted over on Etsy. So you guys, I don't even know how much Etsy takes these days because I rarely have sales. So I'm just going to assume around 10%, something like that. So yeah, so I'm taking home probably, you know, I don't know, $21, $22 and then, you know, cost of goods. So that is it, you guys. Thank you for watching and let me know in the comments if there's anything specific that you want to see as I am sorting out my inventory. I'm going to be running a bunch of sales. I'm going to filter my sales and kind of see you know, what's basically all the inventory in the garage that I've had for 2, 3, 4 years that just isn't selling. I'm basically going to drop those prices down to seriously like $5. It will be easier just to keep all that inventory and just drop the prices and try to get rid of it that way rather than going through that inventory and like donating it and then having to go into eBay and Poshmark and even Etsy and deleting items. That to me would just be more of a time commitment. So that is it, guys. Have a great week and I will be back soon.